Today we're going to show you how to remove your turbine from your Impact Air 45 handpiece, clean it, and reinstall it. Okay, you should be doing this after each use to prolong the life of your turbine. You're going to start with installing a burr blank. You don't want to use a surgical burr to risk any type of injury. Cap wrench that should be provided with the handpiece. If you do not have one, contact the office here and we can send one to you. So we're going to unscrew the head cap. We're going to take our turbine out. And the burr blank helps in removing the turbine because you can push it right through. Now, oftentimes, as in the case here, your front O-ring, which is blue, and two white washers stay inside your head cavity. You need to make sure you take that out. Oftentimes, this black O-ring will stay inside your head cap as well. Make sure you remove that so you can clean everything properly. Now, to get these out, just a little simple pop will do the trick. What we're going to do now is just inspect our parts. Usually, this is a new handpiece. Usually when you take them out, you're going to find some residue on these. You want to make sure that your O-rings aren't broken or frayed. If they are, we suggest you replace them. All you need is a couple drops of lube and an old toothbrush. You can also use isopropyl alcohol to do the same job if you want to. Now, what we're going to have you do is remove the burr blank, which you can need a hard, flat surface. Grasp the turbine right by the spindle, push down, you'll feel it give, maybe even hear a little click. You can pull your burr out. And then your chuck should slide out nice and easily. You want to be careful not to move the wave springs, leave them where they are, and be gentle with your chuck teeth. You don't want to break them off. Now from here, a drop or so of lube on that, again, or the alcohol, your old brush. Just gently wipe off any residue you might find. Now we also want to clean inside this little hole here. It's called the spindle, and that's where your chuck sits. We can do that by using a little bit of lubricant on the end of any pipe cleaner. We want to put it until it comes out the other side, give it a twist, pull it back out. Now if it comes out dirty, snip it off, repeat the process until it comes out clean. Now you can take the opportunity to a couple drops of lubricant around your turbine where you may have some residue and clean off as much as you can with your brush. You know, the more often you clean your turbine, the longer it's going to last. All right, that's pretty much it. You can also do the same thing for inside your head cavity. If you got some residue inside there, a couple drops of lube, get in with your brush. If you have any other type of brush in your office you can use, for example, we've got these nice little round ones. You can get inside there with your brush, clean out the excess, and make sure it's clean. At that point, go ahead and throw a little bit of air through that to make sure you expel any of that mess. So now we're going to go ahead and reinstall the turbine. It's a pretty simple procedure. It's going to go back in the same way it came out. We're going to put that chuck in first. We're going to put it upside down on a flat, hard surface. We're going to slide your burr in until it stops. You don't want to force it. Once it stops, that flat, hard surface, push down, you'll feel the springs give, then push the burr in the rest of the way. Now we're going to put our O-rings and washers back on our turbine. Black on the back, blue on the front. Well, you'll have two Teflon washers, one thicker than the other. It doesn't really matter which way they go on. So as long as you have both of them and the handpiece works that way. Now, the easiest way I found to reinstall the turbine is to put this turbine back into the cap. The cap spins nice and smooth. We're going to go ahead and install it into the turbine. Inside here, you've got two holes, one tiny hole and one large hole. You're going to put 2 drops of lube right in front of that tiny hole. You're going to give it a quick little blast of air off screen so I don't get it in my face. And we're going to reinstall our turbine. So we're going to put the burr blank through the hole for the spindle. We're going to engage our threads about a full turn and a half, 2 turns tops. You don't want to go too far, you'll pinch your O-rings. At this point, the best thing for you to do, firmly grip your cap with your thumb and your finger. Don't lose control of your cap. Start to feed a little bit of air through it. A little bit, and then start to twist your cap down and tighten it as you increase your air into the handpiece. If you start to bind up, wiggle it. Just wiggle it back and forth until that pitch comes back up if it starts to drop on you. You know, when you get to the point where your finger tight, it feels nice and snug, lay off the air, get your cap wrench, find those notches, and make sure you crank it down as tight as you can with that cap wrench. You don't want to use this handpiece unless you've tightened your cap completely with your cap wrench. At that point, you should be good to go. One thing we'll do after this, we want to make sure that there's no air escaping into the surgical field. Quickest, easiest way to do that is to find a little tiny cup of water like we have here. We'll just hold it about 1 centimeter over the top of the water and make sure your water's not moving. If you got a whole lot of water movement, take it back off, try again. You might need some new washers, you might need some new O-rings. Maybe flipping them around a little bit will help you, those washers. But make sure your air's not escaping into the surgical field. Quick, easy test. It's very simple to do. I think after you get used to it, it's a 2-minute procedure. But it will greatly increase the life of your turbine. I highly recommend you do this.